Welcome to the Nerdlore podcast, where we talk stories, theories. I'm one of your three hosts, Shine.
And Green Arrow.
And I am also Green Arrow.
Yeah, see that's
But
Arsenal over there.
I'm slightly faster Green Arrow.
Okay.
And I am slightly also faster Green Arrow. So tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. And this is going to be the first episode of what we call LoreCon. And that's where we're just going to talk lore and theories amongst ourselves tonight. Really have questions and try to get you guys involved in the comments. So I get to start off tonight. And the first question that I'm going to ask is
your mic muted?
No.
In OBS?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, we're good. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about tonight is, what is your favorite weapon in all pretty much fantasy universe? So I'll start off, and my favorite weapon is the Blaze Fire Saber. It's Lightning's weapon from the Final Fantasy games. It's a gun blade. It looks really cool. You see her with it at the beginning of the game. You hold it for a long time. Hers is, it's standard issues, but it has a insignia along the side, and the insignia says, "I am the spark." So it's pretty neat, and it's specific to her. The gun is very agile, and Final Fantasy as a series is kind of popular with the gun blades. The most popular one is probably the one from Squall. He has that gun blade that everybody really likes, or Leon, whatever you want to call him. Squall Leon. But it's a really good
name.
If you look here, Lightning actually has the gun blade in the picture above, and that's kind of what it looks like. It's one of, I just think it's a neat design for a weapon, and it really shows off a lot about her character. So what do you guys think as a weapon got to choose?
Yo, first of all, he was prepared as hell. Like he just
Yeah,
had that. He had that queued up, just like.
Got him.
I'm gonna draw the picture now.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm just gonna draw the Buster Sword.
Well, while you're doing that, okay, so you may think because there's a bow in my background, which you can't see right now. Yeah, okay. But yeah, you can see it, yeah. And the Green Arrow mask on my forehead now, that I would choose bow and arrow. But realistically, I think my favorite weapon is the lantern rings. And the reason being is because their power comes directly from you. It's an external weapon, but it comes from whatever you are, like,
your imagination.
No, it's like what you plenty of. Like if you induce fear, then the yellow lantern ring will be stronger for you. If you are greedy, then you'll have the Trump skin. But
what ring do you think we'd all have?
I would want to have the blue lantern ring because it does inspire and require hope, but I feel like in my everyday life I would have the red ring, which is complete rage.
Very angry.
Complete rage.
What ring would I have? I don't know all the colors. Is there a happy ring? There one is heart one?
This is not Captain Planet. What the fuck? Like, this is not Captain Planet.
I want to imagine you give Shiny the world's most powerful ring pop, and he's just like,
I mean,
hey!
Well, the thing about it is, I don't know because, like,
all I'm saying is you're a bunny. You're a bunny.
I don't know because, like, I can't say. I mean, you'll probably be like a Green Lantern because it has willpower. I can give you that. Like that's the standard one. So you could probably get very high in the Green Lantern ranks, but like blue is hope.
I'm pretty positive.
You know what? I feel like he might be Sapphire or
what
Pink.
Do they do? Heart.
They're they're heart. They're basically love. Yeah. They're love, yeah. The Sapphire.
They have hippies in the light ring cores, bro.
Hold on, I can tell you exactly right now. It's like
Listen, I'm gonna
Off
fly
the top
in.
of my
This is the
head.
Nerdlore I signed up for.
Off the top of my head, I can remember is green is willpower, yellow is fear, red is rage, blue is hope, violet is compassion, sapphire is just said love, orange is greed. Excuse me. Black is death, white is life. I'm always miss one. Like I feel like I always miss one. It's probably the one I don't like the most. Um, is it compassion?
I think you already
Said
said compassion.
Because it's indigo, but I forgot what indigo is. Because
Indigo is compassion.
Yeah. So then,
So what's violet?
violet is
Love.
not. Violet's not love. Violet.
Yeah.
Wait, violet is
love.
purple.
Violet's love.
Yeah, violet is purple.
Fuck, hold on, sapphire.
I think you forgot yellow. That's fear.
No, I did, yo.
Okay, so it goes. It's
So violet. Oh.
yeah. That's like.
That's why we need an editor, like a live editor, just Google things whenever
Yeah.
we're wrong.
I know, right?
So it's
Lantern Corps.
Yeah, I got him. What would Crash?
Yeah, okay.
have?
So
I don't know. I really don't know.
What do you feel like your dominating personality trait out of love, compassion, hope, willpower, fear, greed, or rage?
I'm very white. So
All right.
Can I have the white one by default?
Sapphire, Star Sapphires. Oh, because you know what? That's what it was. See, that's why I messed up.
Are they like special rings that they
no,
don't normally have?
no. Violet and soft, the sapphire is the same thing.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking that.
But yeah, my dominating emotion used to be rage, but now it's, I guess, hope. I really.
Okay.
I couldn't pick.
That makes you blue.
I mean, but see, here's the funny thing though, which I find hilarious, but I don't care. The Blue Lantern actually are more of a support class. They like if you're a Blue Lantern and you're in the area of a Green Lantern, you being there boosts the Green Lantern's power.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Think about that. So.
Yeah, I'll be hope.
Cool.
All right.
So got our love, our hope, and our rage.
Yeah.
What about you, Crash? What weapon would you choose if you could have one?
I got stuck between two because one, I was just like, this is the cool one is the coolest one. One has the most significance to me.
Yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
My favorite weapon, which I'm a secret edgelord.
Okay.
Like I'm deep undercover in edgelord territory where I used to play a ton of I used to always play edgelords and MMOs and
yeah, still they're great.
I feel like he's slipping really hard from hope to like Black Lantern really quickly.
Oh no, I'm still hopeful.
I always play.
I can appreciate them like I can appreciate them from afar, can't I? Like it's not a crime. Just be like, hey, that's really edgy.
I always play anime girls.
But yeah, there's a scythe from Ruby, RWBY, where it literally like it takes itself apart and puts it back together between like being a sniper and a scythe, and I'm just like, good enough. It's the edgiest weapon I've ever heard of. Sniper rifle and a scythe.
I just want to point out once again, this man said he wants to be hopeful, and yet his favorite weapon is literally the favorite tool of death.
Yeah. So
snip snap.
You do realize that death is the most hopeful thing in the world, but death is in love with life, and it gives life gifts. I'm gonna move on from this. The other one is
I hope for death all the time.
Today is the day it happens.
Maybe if I see you awkwardly enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was like, go ahead. What was your other one? It was a good one.
It's Guts' sword from Berserker.
Oh yeah,
it's a giant slab of metal.
That one is pretty neat.
It's not even a weapon. It's not a weapon. It's literally like, what if I just ripped off part of this house and started swinging it.
It's a
That's
car on a stick. Literally, you just put a stick in the side of a Dodge, and you're just like,
literally like you ever see like they build the foundations of construction zones with like they like have the metal poles sticking out of
rebar. Yeah, rebar.
Yeah.
And he just like went out like he's a kid that went over there and he had super strength. And he's like, you know what? I'm taking this cool thing home with me, and just left. And he became a murder hobo.
Yeah, that's the best way to be. I know that like outside of those weapons, there's a bunch of weapons I just think are really, really neat concept. The weeboo in me really likes keyblades. Like, I think that their concept is neat. Like, you can summon them on command and stuff like that. I think that's a very neat concept. I think there isn't a single person that wouldn't like to just play with a real lightsaber. But there's a bunch of different weapons that we could choose, but it's all up to you, really, as the viewer. Like, what kind of weapon do you see yourself having the most? Like, Flip, you could have even the dragon flute. That'd be pretty cool. Or Saba, the sword.
That would be cool as hell.
That'd be pretty neat, too.
That'd be cool as hell.
That was all I got for my question.
Crash, you say you going last? You last in this round?
Are we going in order? Or we're doing rounds? All right.
Yeah.
We can do rounds.
All right, I'll go next time. So my question to you two is, what is your favorite fantasy setting? So not sci-fi, but fantasy, specifically fantasy. And for me, I'd have to say my favorite fantasy setting is probably the Naruto universe, which is if you get away from some of the characters and the music bops, but the universe itself is so interesting and is very different from a lot of things. Like you normally don't see like ninja anime or ninja stuff with quite as much depth and world building as Naruto. That's why I think really it's one of my favorites. Even though Naruto is not one of my favorite series, it still has one of the coolest settings.
Definitely get that. The question about it, first one would be, do we have the ability to maybe like do we get to choose kind of our abilities in here, or is it just, hey, you're gonna get plucked into the world and maybe this is what happened?
I feel like for us, we would definitely be mid-level people, but if you want a power trip for this, go right ahead.
Okay. If I can power trip, I think I would be all about being in like the Star Wars world. I think that would be awesome. Like just being a Jedi.
That would be pretty cool.
Or Sith, like either one. Either way, it kind of doesn't bother me too much, but I think that would be neat. And then if I don't get to, can I just say like high fantasy? Like, does that make sense?
So like the Dungeons and Dragons-esque Skyrim,
like a Dungeons and Dragons universe. Yeah. Good.
Now, okay, following up with that, if I could go just complete power trip, it'd definitely be the Marvel Universe. I was just talking about this a couple days ago with my coworker. I'm like, I feel like, because it was a joke, I think Dr. Lupo had put on Twitter about like Elon Musk making an Iron Man suit. I said, you know what? I would love that, because if he makes an Iron Man suit, right? Then that means somebody gonna eventually want to do the Avengers, and they're gonna try to make a super soldier serum, which I'm pretty sure they might already have. They're telling us, and I want them to test that serum on me just so I can become the Hulk. It wouldn't take me 17 movies to become smart Hulk. It'd just be like, hey, I'm smart. You like to destroy shit. Let's just be cool. And that'd be it right there.
So you know a lot about like the lore there and everything. So Smart Hulk, he's not as strong as normal Hulk, right? Because his power. I thought his power came from his rage.
Yeah.
Like he has a baseline rage, but
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's yes and no, because his like Smart Hulk has like a base calm to it, so he's definitely very calm, but with him being as smart as he is, I think he knows how much he can put into being angry to elevate his power. You feel me?
Okay.
So it's like it's like a person who has regular, just uncontrollable rage is a very powerful person, but a person who knows how much rage to put in that power will probably be a whole lot higher in the power scale, so to speak, because it's kind of like power levels from Dragon Ball Z. I can legit say, you know what? I know that I need to be this power level to give the Super Saiyan 3 and this power level to be Super Saiyan God. And I feel like he can do that in his way. Plus, I'll go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So what you're doing almost subvertly is you're actually describing a martial artist trait where there's two kinds, like not two kinds, but there's two baselines for emotion in martial arts. There's people like just assume that both Hulks have the same amount of rage, right?
Mhm.
Old Hulk is the first style, which is you let your emotions explode and your moves become dynamic and you just become unstoppable until you drop. The second one is you keep your emotions below the surface and let them boil up, and you keep yourself calm at almost all times. That's when you're able to strike more precisely.
Mhm. Because you're still using the anger to fuel that power, but you're not letting the
Letting it
anger
control you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a saying in what was it? I can't even think of the saying, but it was in like Never Back Down or whatever. Where he was just like an angry man is a narrow mind, I think it was. Like if you're angry, all you can worry about is what you can do to that person, not what that person can do to you.
Yeah.
I think there's another saying that it's like, an angry bull only charges forward.
That's where that Never Backs Down thing come from.
That's true.
Okay.
Like you think about it, you get mad, you're only single focus, so it makes sense.
Yep.
I just want to know more about that because I know that like if you want to be in that Marvel, that's a pretty neat universe.
And then regular, if I'm doing regular or whatever, I would say the Dragon Ball Z universe and see if I can if I could just slab myself in with some half Saiyan blood. That'd be cool.
I was about to say, wait, how
you gotta get
how you're gonna not power trip in the Dragon Ball Z universe?
So because I gotta pull a Goku.
Well, at least in Marvel, you got a chance of being super, but in Dragon Ball Z, if you're average, you're the human. You gotta try to be Krillin, bro.
Yamcha's above average, and he's always that dude.
Yo, first of all, Yamcha is pumped up to be average. He's trash. Okay, every time you see him, he's dead. So he died in baseball, bro. Come on.
Yamcha's literally like a baseline. Like he is literally like the guy they pulled out of a karate dojo, but it's actually in a garage. And they're just like, "Hey, do you want to come help us?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Like, yeah, you want to save the world? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Poor guy.
Wait a minute.
He just tries his hardest. Okay. Cool.
All right.
What do you got,
all right, so I guess we can start with the smaller one. You both. I asked you earlier. Y'all both seen the Justice League movie. Out of that cast, we're not even going to talk about the movie. We're talking about just the cast that they had. Who would you add to that roster that they had? Because they only had 6, 7 people, and the Justice League is a lot more than that in the comics. Who would you add? Who would you take out?
I really like the power set that Starfire has. I think got a neat kind of power set. I don't know if that's canonically who we'd want to add to it. Yeah.
I mean, this is your Justice League. This is your Justice League.
Just to make it more like actual Justice League, you need Martian Manhunter. He's got a good power set. He makes sense in the universe. So I mean,
he's extremely intelligent.
And we need. I think in order to make it a more enjoyable thing, we need more checks and balances on.
You're right.
So if we bring Martian Manhunter, we can start bringing in people maybe from more outer space. I don't know, things that are actual challenges to them.
Yeah, I think that just falls into the animated series, which was so good and still holds up today.
Yeah,
but they were they stood there as equals. All 6 of them were equals, and then you watch the new one where it's everyone is fighting Superman, and they're still losing.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Exactly. It's like, oh, so wait a minute.
It's literally the Justice League. Oh, plus the other 5 are there.
Superman and his friends.
Exactly. Superman and his bitches.
Yeah.
I would say I want Superman out. I just want him out. He doesn't do anything. Like he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't add to the story, and they could bring in
trump
like
card, truthfully.
literally. They're like he is literally a plot device where they're like, oh, we can't figure out how these 4 humans and
Fishman.
one sports guy spray painted with chrome, how they're gonna beat this alien invasion. Well, lucky for you, we have a super plant that's weak to a rock, but we took away all the rocks so he can kill the alien.
I think that the biggest problem, like, you add him in and you have all these great characters, but when he comes in, the power scaling is so off. It's so off. So, I mean, even in the movie when he just destroys the guy he's fighting, it's crazy.
Alternatively, I would have loved if they had done something completely different with, instead of with what they did with Teen Titans, the animated series, they took Raven out of Teen Titans, like added like 8 to 20 years on her and put her in Justice League instead of Superman.
That
would just made cool. Instead of the alien invasion, it was the demonic invasion.
That would be an awesome storyline.
That would actually be really good.
I'd take that to the next level, and I would say I think them making a Young Justice League movie instead of the actual Justice League, I think we'd enjoy that more. So, because
I feel like that would be cool too, because you got Superboy Prime. Well, Superboy, you don't want Prime. Superboy, he's kind of like Superman, but he's not as strong. And depending on what variation it is, he doesn't fly. He can only jump really hard. I think eventually he learns how to fly, but for the most part, he just, pull the Hulk jumps and shit.
Yeah.
The power scaling in Young Justice League, or even like Teen Titans, stuff like that, it's way more scale. It's more even, so you can have actual villains. Like, when you think about it, when you get villains, how does Deathstroke threaten Superman?
I mean, the same way Batman would.
One big rock boy.
Yeah.
That's really
it's a fallacy of hot take cartoon universe, though, because I mean, you look at any of us as Superman, and I know Deathstroke is 500 yards away, and I can see perfectly because I have Superman vision, and I can see he's got kryptonite on him, or I know that my eyes aren't working on him because he's got that kryptonite. I'm shooting a laser beam right through his chest. I win.
See, this is the reason why I can't be superpowered like that. Like, I can only have, like, prime example. You cannot tell me that. I guess we're going back into this whole time thing or whatever. But if we go first of all, if we go based off time from there, we're screwed. But if we go based off time from every other thing we've seen so far, I could not be the Flash and not go back into. Oh, you too good for me? You too hard for me to beat right now? Hold on, bro. And just take off into the Speed Force, come back, and watch him die after I put a hand through his chest as baby kid.
In the old phasey.
Exactly. Come back like.
That'd be a good.
You counting for?
I think that'd be a good thing to talk about in future Nerdlore podcasts. Messing with time and time theory.
Oh God!
I think that'd be a fun.
Smart enough for this conversation.
I think we could get some good conversation out of that. But works for me. But like I said, I just think I think it's hard to add people to the universe without taking out.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like me, like I would take out Superman. I guess he would. I could take him out. Truthfully speaking, I would take out him. I would scrap the whole team except the Flash.
Wonder Woman's wife.
I'll scrap him too.
No, the reason why That's what I'm saying. I would go with literally. I can use Nightwing as Batman because Nightwing is not a plot device like Batman is.
Give me Batman Beyond. I want Terry McGinnis as
Bruh,
Batman Beyond.
you know
That's what I
what?
want.
Give me Terry McGinnis. Give me Adult Static Shock. Give me. I just had it too. Give me Arsenal. We don't have to have Oliver Queen. Give me Arsenal. What else? Give me Donna Troy. Let me get. Do I give me Kyle Rayner as as Green Lantern because he can go back and forth between. Well, first of all, Kyle Rayner can go through all of them apparently. Like the way the comics is now, he's have access to every damn ring ever, but he's been shown to do green, blue, and white. So just give me that. Give me him that way because he got white, he can heal people. Blue, throw me another John Stewart so we can have two lanterns on there.
Slip's perfect Justice League is just 6 Green Lanterns. Just a
I
bunch
mean,
of different Green
And one
Lanterns.
of them is the Flash.
Yeah, he's like, hey, this is the Flash with the Lantern ring. We gave him a ring. That's it.
there is a line where the Justice League got rings and your boy Barry Allen got to be a Blue Lantern. My favorite 100% favorite emblem is the Blue Lantern Flash emblem. It looks so cool.
That does sound pretty clean.
And he's gonna go look it up. It looks good, man. I love how it looks. It's literally just the Blue Lantern.
Oh, that is pretty neat.
And it just has the boat on top of it. Like, boom,
Yeah.
what's up?
Could you imagine all these rings are just floating down? Each person getting there, like, oh, Barry Allen gets blue, and you just see the little red light floating towards Superman. We're like, oh no. Oh hell no.
What? No, you know what? Superman got Blue Lantern too. But then again, the whole my symbol is hope. You knew he was gonna get hope.
No, I'm just saying what if that little red light flew on his finger?
You just see him sitting there like, just come down.
That's
Wait.
pretty good.
What is that red light? Where's that red? Yo, Batman, get the kryptonite. Get the goddamn kryptonite. Get it now.
Run it back! Get that rock!
Barry, get the damn kryptonite from Star Labs. What? Look at that ring. It's red. What is all? There you go. Kyle, John Stewart, what do you mean? What are you doing? John Stewart is in the bag packing up his clothes and shit. I'm done now. Hell no.
John Stewart's just already flying away. He's like, I'm gone. I'm out. Hell no.
All right, back to you, Shiny.
Okay, so my next one. So it's spooky season. We're in spooky season, my favorite time of the year. So my next thing is, what horror universe messes with you the most? And I will start. To this day, the universe of Final Destination affects me on a personal level. I will not drive behind trucks with logs on them. Still won't do it. To this day. I'm
scared as hell of elevators.
Yeah, anytime I walk into like a fishing store or something like that, like a tackle store, I look and see, is there any way that there's a hook that's going to fly around the top of this thing and kill me somehow? Like, that universe got me, and I thought it was such a neat theory. Like, hey, they cheated death, so death is going to come and get them. One at a time.
I have to concur with that one and agree 100% because I even told, like, after, like, maybe the third one, I was joking with my mom or whatever, and I told her, I said, if that ever happened to me or whatever, we're going to die. Period. If we go through this massive ass death and it's a vision and I see it and
yeah,
we gonna die. I'm not cheating death because, see, when you cheat death in that universe, death is a bitch for that one because it don't ever be like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and come back and get you. No, death is like, I'm about to end this whole man career.
Career. I remember I watched that movie and I remember the log thing and it didn't bother me, but I do remember the one guy was swimming and like the vent caught his ass and pulled his entire organs out.
They die so weird.
That was a comedy movie.
They do it in a funny way. They really do. But you think about it like that. There's very few horror genre movies that still to this day like have affected me. I watched that when I was a young kid, and I still don't want to drive behind log trucks.
Bruh, I said I've done that so many times where just instinctively, it just like I just pull up or whatever, it just comes in. I look at the corner of my eye like, oh, okay, well, up. Oh, you want to get in front of me? I'm out.
Crazy,
but nah,
bruh.
I don't have one.
Really? None of the horror universes affect you? I know you don't really get into the scary movies as much.
I mean, I never finished The Grudge because it scared me as a child, but...
That's a perfect one right there, then. That thing's pretty spooky.
It's not the universe itself, though. It's literally... It was just like, yes, the child in me is afraid. I must go.
All right, fair.
Dude, I'm telling you that. And the bad thing about it is, if you had not brought that up, I wouldn't have thought anything about it because most horror movies don't scare me. Like,
oh yeah,
I think I want to say. Let me see what I think. Paranormal Activity caught me off guard with the jump scares the very first time. After that, was like, okay, well, like you get me.
Paranormal Activity is.
And then Insidious was crazy as hell. I think I watched one.
I loved Insidious. Paranormal Activity was just I Spy except horror. It was.
True. Okay. Moving on.
All right, Crash.
Oh, is it me? Oh, that's right, it is me. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next question is, you have you have full resources. You have the backing of the entire world to make one series. You can make it a season 2. You can make it your own original thing. What do you make and why?
All right. I'm ready. I got this one.
Okay, Shiny, go ahead.
There was an anime series on Netflix called Claymore. The Claymore series ended too soon. They did it way too fast. But the concept behind it was great. It was a series I loved, and it's still to this day one of my favorite animes. But it was rushed. It was done not very well. But the concept behind it I thought was awesome. So if I could find a way to be like, hey, we're going to spend the time, we're going to revive this, and we're going to do it right, I would. That's how I would spend my money.
Okay.
Make the perfect anime. And I would that thing is going in the manga still. I would make that thing last like 4 seasons, 5 seasons. I would Naruto that damn thing. Make that thing last like 40 something.
Sorry, you mean One Piece, that one.
You're right. 700 episodes, One Piece. I would rival that. I'd go for 1400.
I'm going for the 2000.
Yeah.
All right. This one hit me the hardest. Have you ever seen the show Alphas?
I have seen commercials for it.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in a little mind of it, right? So it was kind of like a budget Heroes.
That would have been a good choice too. Heroes would have been a good one.
Heroes. I would continue it past season. Like, I would start at season 3 and just retcon the rest of that shit and go from there. Like, 4 just didn't exist. That was the worst fucking season I've ever seen in my life. But whatever.
Heroes, what actually happened was right at the end of season 2, the writer strike happened. And that's what we have to blame for all the reality TV shows, because all of the good shows stopped, and then we just had reality shows because you didn't have anybody writing actual sitcom episodes. And then when Heroes came back, it was garbage.
The thing about it is, I actually liked the 3rd season. It was the 4th season that was just like... took me out. It take me out. But Alpha was like this. It was on the premise that certain people just were born with certain mutations, and it just kind of like it just happened. It was kind of like Heroes. But the reason why I got so upset was because they do this all the time with seasons. It started off kind of slow, and then towards the end of first season, that's when they get ready to hit you. So they didn't think same thing with the second season. But the way the issue was like kind of like Heroes, where it was this one specific gene that made alphas and humans. So, that organization found a way to try to get rid of the humans get rid of the alphas with I'm pretty sure I'm saying this all wrong. But one tried to have a bomb where it messed up the other one. And they also had round 2. So at the very last episode, they had built this up to where it's like, oh my god, it's this bomb here. If this bomb go off, it's gonna kill every single alpha in New York. It was like it may also fuck up the humans. At the very last second, the bomb went off. Now, so the reason why this is so important is because it was one character. His name was Gary. He was autistic, but his power was he could see like everything on an electric level. So like he can see shit on electric, pretty much the spectrum that he was on. He could see like surveillance type stuff. He could connect, but he was autistic, so he needed help. He was like really bad with it, so he needed a handler. So bomb went off. They pan to him. He's the only person up, and everybody else is dead. Everybody else is dead. Then that was the season finale, and then they canceled it.
Got him.
To this day, I don't know what's going on with Gary, man. I don't know what's going on, and it worries me.
Got him,
Gary's
boy.
probably just like wandering around. He don't know what's messed up. His handler's probably dead, and Gary is trying to like wake him up.
Got him.
Whoever canceled that shit, there's a special place and a bad place for you.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Crash. You
guys ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
10 more years.
I would love if they would finally make a live action movie for that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love if they would finally make. I've been waiting so long. It was such a popular series.
Ever. I know, right? Like it was.
I just
really wish that they do that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is like if they. I mean, they
you have all the material, right? It's like you have plenty of material to get everything right. Just watch the episodes.
Right.
Watch the movie.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be probably pretty good.
It wouldn't. I mean, you could do that over like 2 weeks, right? Just 2 weeks flat. You could watch the whole series. You could understand the premise, and there'd be no way to mess it up.
And get all the names right too.
How would you get the names wrong?
Bro, I mean, just saying, like, I'm pretty sure that you can get all the names right because they pronounce them all there.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea too.
Ooh, you know what? I really hear me out on this, right? This is gonna be a little long-winded. So I really think that having one guy lift like a boulder that's like maybe 70 pounds is too hard for vendors. I think we should at least get 5 people to dance to move it. That's all I'm saying.
That's probably fair.
If we could get like, I really want it to be more like a musical where they're like synchronized dancing, and that's how they bend. I also really want to change all of the races of the characters for really no discernible reason other than
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
That's pretty
like
smart.
I really want the people who are supposed to be like in snow and constantly affected by UV lights. I really want them to be white because I relate to that as a white person.
Okay.
Oh, I get that.
I'm gonna see them the most, so I want to see me. Obviously,
Yeah.
I want to be able to relate to these element bending children. So I need them to have a similar skin tone to me, of course.
Yeah.
We could also let's see, what else could we do?
Could we get?
We could also
a bunch of not necessarily like no-name actors, but people that really haven't had another role and probably won't get another role after this. Like, could we get them to do it? But like, I never want to show them the actual show.
Right.
Oh yeah, of course not.
Okay, good.
Because no, see, think about it is you don't show them the actual show because then they have a, like something to go on. We don't want them to go on anything.
You don't want them to have a base of comparison. Then they're gonna they're just gonna make the whole series again, but in live action. Who would want that?
Yeah, no. I mean, you want to know how different I want it? I want the names to be pronounced extremely wrong.
Right.
Even though we have
own
a baseline.
I want this to feel like its own breathing thing, right? Like I want it to be like, I want people to be like, oh, this is that thing I like, but then it's just not.
Yeah.
I feel like people will really grab.
You know what would be perfect? If we make a movie like that and just put the name on it, so when people go actually to watch it, they feel like, oh man, I'm going to go see my favorite show. But then when they leave, it's like, that wasn't my favorite show.
You know what? You know what else we could do?
My actual answer is I want a new season of Teen Titans.
Oh, and not Teen Titans Go, not Teen Titans Go. I do
Teen
not
Titans
want Teen Titans
Go.
No, Titans. To be fair, Teen Titans Go literally does nothing but make fun of Teen Titans Go. By season 2, they become self-aware.
I started watching that movie because I know they was talking. They were
talking trash. It was amazing.
It was a whole segment about them talking crap about Deathstroke.
Yeah, that's the whole movie. They're like, hey, are you? They made like Deadpool is coming out right around the same time, and they're like, oh, are you Deadpool? We're such huge fans. We're gonna go see your movie later. He's like, I'm not Deadpool. He's like, come on, man, just one autograph. Seriously, we're your fans. But that movie is actually amazing because they do nothing but make fun of Teen Titans Go. It's incredible.
All right.
Do we have one last question?
I think that's do you got one? Oh yeah, slip second. I forgot everybody's.
Y'all seen it.
Yeah.
Y'all seen it.
Yeah.
Change the ending of Endgame.
Listen, Slip.
How would you change it?
Slip, you know that in my soul of souls, I have an incredible, let's say, power hard-on for Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have had her just wreck shop when she came back to life. Like, just absolutely destroy Thanos. Rip him apart on a atomical level. Kill everyone in there. That would have been...
That'd have been justice, Loki.
Yeah, that would have been my jam.
That would have been justice.
I would have... Maybe let's wrap up more storylines. I think there's some storylines we don't need to visit anymore.
Like?
Does anyone here feel particularly invested in more Ant-Man storyline?
For the story, not really. But in the same token, yes, because they could lead. Ant-Man could lead into the Fantastic Four if done right.
Could we have used the ending of Endgame to bring us in X-Men?
Yes, we could have.
That'd been a good one too.
100%. Because
then,
and here it's actually a theory out there, but I will save that for my part.
I think I feel like there's a lot of them that I don't necessarily I don't need any more of their story. I feel like their story's gone. And I like, if you look at what they're doing with Marvel, the next phase, like they're coming out with some good stuff, some new characters and everything else like that. I think they could have used the end of Endgame to give me an idea of where the Iron Man storyline is going. I mean, we get an idea with Spider-Man, but like those are two separate things in my book.
Yeah, like the whole Iron Man place, kind of like, I guess, okay, Iron Man became a symbol of hope after those years, and I feel like I can't believe I just compared Iron Man to Superman, but okay, whatever. And with Spider-Man taking that place, that's a perfect segue. But with him going and Pepper owning pretty much all of Stark Industries, if you know anything about the lore, we can actually go two ways with that. We can go into Iron Lad. That's why they had the Harvey from Iron Man 3 in there.
The young boy, yeah.
And also, if they go down the right path, they can use Ironheart, because in Ironheart, technically, Iron Man was dead, and there was an AI of Iron Man, which we did see at the end of Endgame with when he made up AI voicemail to his daughter. So it's possible they can do it. So they actually have two routes they can go with that, or they can just like let Gwyneth Paltrow do Rescue for a while, which I kind of, as much as I love Rescue, I'm not sure if we got too many more years out of her. So I would love to go, but just because, you know, Ironheart is, you know.
Now, like I said, I'm not complaining about the movie. I think the movie was great, excellent movie, and I can tell you, still to this day, when Cap fucking pulls that hammer and everybody comes to the portal and he's like, Avengers Assemble, that shit still gives me the goosebumps. I'm like, oh,
you know what gives me the
15
goosebumps?
years.
But you know what really gives me goosebumps in there is not the event up there, but the pure battle cry of Thor directly after that. You just felt that battle cry. You felt it. It's just like, Avengers Assemble. Yeah. And that battle cry was like, yes, bitches, let's go.
You know what I always thought? Why didn't Doctor Strange just cut Thanos in half?
Because of his skin.
Like, couldn't he just portal and just...
Yeah, he had a whole lot of skin, and it was too much.
I know he's a more powerful being. Like, he's one of the god races or whatever, like a descendant of the god races. But I just
think about it. All of the technology that Iron Man did only got a drip of blood. In the beginning of the movie, literally a god's weapon had to cut off his arm and head. It wasn't a regular weapon. It was a god's weapon.
Okay.
I got my ending for you. All right,
ahead, brother.
Here's what happens. They're in the middle of the fight. He yells, "Avengers Assemble," and they're going after the Infinity Gauntlet. Then you see, like, rushing in from the side, a new strike of lightning. is Thor. I'm trying to think of how I would do this, but I would basically be that Thor somehow gets the Infinity Gauntlet away. He sends himself back in time, puts himself in. He self-assigns exile, and then trains up to the first Thanos fight, so he doesn't fail like he did before. But then he goes crazy because he's lived with so many years racked with Loki's death and all the things that he messed up, and then he becomes a new villain.
Be cool. That'd be pretty cool. A mic drop.
I feel like Slipshock is really mad.
Sick human being. What the?
Well, he is literally the most powerful character they have on there besides Thanos, and he almost clapped Thanos.
Lord, I'm just saying that's like some evil mastermind shit right there, man. What the hell? All right,
That's what I would.
So
That's what I would have done.
The ending, maybe I guess they did that strictly for, I guess to get Robert Downey Jr. out of his contract at the end.
Probably.
But you got your powers from in the movie. You got your powers from a stone. Can we please talk about why Captain Marvel couldn't snap the goddamn shit away? She could have handled that. She could have handled the power.
Yeah, that's her literal ability is to absorb power. That's literally
She could have handled all of that.
she
She could have handled every single one of. She could have, and then,
yeah,
you know. But there is a theory where that snap could have, because like remember they was making sure they made a notice of saying, okay, in the first time that the snap happened, it was a big spark of gamma radiation.
Yeah.
The second time, and then Hulk being the only person to be able to snap it and live because of gamma radiation. There's a theory that gamma radiation radiated through the entire Earth and created mutants.
Pretty cool.
Like it was like one of those evolutionary things where if there was like some type of birth defect or something like that, there was an actual dormant mutation that snap radiated energy to make that activate and give them like mutations. That's a theory that would have brought in X-Men.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
I get.
I'm done.
I'm good.
So that kind of brings us to the end of our podcast tonight. So if you guys have any comments or questions you guys like to hear, go ahead and put them in the comments. You can find us on YouTube or hit us up on Twitter. If you have any answers to this, let us know. What's your favorite weapon? What would you do differently? What fantasy universe would you live? So this is Shiny Shoes signing out.
And this is Slipshock.
And this is Crashstarling.
Have a good one.